Hey everyone, this is George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 8th of July 2024. Now look, since the last few days, there is absolute bloodbath so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned, isn't it? Now there are three reasons, guys, as to why the prices of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market has been falling down. The first one is probably regarding Germany that you might have heard from a lot of YouTube influencers. So what has been happening is, the German police, they've been dumping a lot of the Bitcoin into exchanges. Now it's really important to note, guys, that the German police did actually acquire these Bitcoins via a piracy site, and looks like they have decided to go ahead and put it on open exchange rather than doing it on OTC. And because of that, guys, that has created quite a lot of panic, particularly so far as the price of Bitcoin is concerned. Now along with Germany, guys, we all know what is going on regarding Mt. Gox's restructuring plan, isn't it? Now look, the supply of Bitcoin is technically increased, and because of that the demand has gone down. Now apart from these two reasons, guys, another reason why the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has been falling down is because the United States of America, they did have an annual report, and the IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, they did actually meet Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen, and they did actually give them some strong advice to go ahead and take care of the policies. Now because of the combination of all these three news, guys, unfortunately there's a lot of panic so far as the price of Bitcoin is concerned. But look, guys, so far as the price of Bitcoin is concerned, we need to remember that the supply is fixed, and because the supply is fixed, so far as the demand is concerned, there's only one trajectory where it is going to head towards, isn't it? So look, guys, if you're upset with what is going on so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned, you need to remember, guys, the price of Bitcoin is at $57,000 or $58,000, and we are still talking about the price of Bitcoin falling down. That is the absolute bizarre world of cryptocurrency, isn't it? Now in today's episode, guys, we'll definitely delve into that, but we'll go ahead and discuss some massive news, and that is regarding Bitcoin mining difficulty. And the mining difficulty, guys, gets adjusted every 2016 block, and unfortunately, guys, because of the prices going down, the mining difficulty has gone down as well. And what I'll do is, guys, I'll go ahead and discuss how does it affect the Bitcoin mining industry. Does it make mining easier? Does it increase the competition? And I'll also go ahead and touch base on profitability adjustments, and I'll also go ahead and share my thoughts and opinion regarding the market dynamics. Now so far stablecoins is concerned, guys, there's some really interesting development, and Justin Sun, who is the founder of Tron blockchain, he has actually put out a tweet where he's stating that his team is developing gas-free stablecoin, and that will be available on Ethereum as well as Tron blockchain, so we'll definitely go ahead and discuss this. Now look, guys, Justin Sun also feels that Tron blockchain will become the first blockchain in the world to surpass 1 billion addresses, so we'll just have to wait and see how that thing unfolds, isn't it? Now in the world of centralized exchanges, guys, we do have an interesting development, and Robinhood, they have made the plans clear regarding acquiring Bitstamp, so I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that news. And finally, guys, we'll go ahead and discuss some interesting development so far central bank digital currency is concerned. Now look, guys, it's really important to understand, with the US elections coming up, anything to do with central bank digital currency is a political move, and historically, I've said this, guys, Democrats and the left-leaning administration, they're definitely not fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. They definitely want more control over your money, and they definitely are in favor of central bank digital currency. Now the news that I'm going to be talking about, guys, is regarding a CBDC ban bill, but unfortunately, guys, this particular bill that was supposed to ban central bank digital currency has been vetoed by Democratic governor from North Carolina, that is Roy Cooper. Now unfortunately, guys, this has definitely sparked some crypto concern, so in today's episode I'll definitely go ahead and share my thoughts and opinion on it. So quite a lot to cover, guys, in today's episode, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee a Day podcast, we're going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news, guys, does seem to be a promising news, and that is to do with UAE's Zan Bank, and they want to offer crypto custody and wallet services, and they want to do it with a solution, so I'll definitely go ahead and expand and give out more information regarding this news. Now the second news, guys, is in the world of artificial intelligence, and it touches base on ethical and responsible AI development, and the SDAIA, that is Saudi Data for Artificial Intelligence Authority, and they are committing to ensure ethical and responsible AI development. So in today's episode, I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information regarding this. So quite a lot to cover, guys, in today's episode. Let's kick start with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region, with over 2 decades of experience Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well. And Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously. And they're focusing on 3 Ps. That is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the Statement of Corporate Social Responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, it's really important to understand, guys, that I'm recording this podcast in the early hours of Dubai, and it technically might still be Sunday in most of the Western countries. Now, look, guys, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies definitely went down, but since the last 24 hours, guys, it is marginally pumped up, and the global cryptocurrency market as of now is at $2.11 trillion. Now, look, guys, I tend to record the Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast Monday to Thursdays in Gulf Standard Time, and on Fridays and Saturdays, guys, the market cap of Bitcoin and Ethereum definitely took a massive hit. Now, what is a bit worrisome, guys, is that the market cap of Ethereum has probably taken a massive hit, so we'll definitely go and touch base on that. Now, if we look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, today it is at $53.31 billion. This in hindsight, guys, is definitely positive news, considering the fact that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies were absolutely miserable on Friday and Saturdays, isn't it? Now what you need to do is, guys, you need to look at the 24-hour volume and then compare it with decentralized exchanges as well as stable coins, and in comparison to the last week, it is definitely better, but you've definitely seen better days, guys, in the past. Now, so far as the cryptocurrency market volume is concerned, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 8.78%. Now, let me quickly run through the volume of DeFi, guys, because no matter what is going on in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world, or even the NFT world, the volume of DeFi is relatively consistent, and today it is at $4.28 billion, and DeFi as of today is accounting for 7.87% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, the total value locked, guys, has definitely taken a massive hit. It is at $86.01 billion. Now, look how so far the total value locked is concerned. Since the last 2 years, the total value locked used to hover around the $30 to $40 billion mark. The only reason why the total value locked bumped up is only because of anticipation of an Ethereum spot ETF approval. Now, the Ethereum spot ETF has been approved, but the trading hasn't kicked off yet, isn't it? But so far as the total value locked is concerned, it did actually bump up to $110 billion as well. But look how since the last few days, the total value locked of all DeFi protocol has definitely taken a massive hit, and today it is at $86.01 billion. The Lido is still dominating with $29.01 billion. Now, if you look at decentralized exchange dominance, guys, it is at 19.19%, which just means one thing: since the last few days, a lot of centralized exchanges has been used as opposed to decentralized exchanges. Now, look as if the volume of centralized exchange increases and if the prices go down, but let's say the volume of stablecoins has gone down as well, it just means one thing: that people are exchanging a lot of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies onto fiat currencies. That is not good, isn't it? And that gives us an idea if actually people are parking a lot of the cryptocurrencies onto stablecoins or getting it converted to fiat currencies. Now, so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned, guys, I cannot say much. Hopefully by Tuesday and Wednesday we can get a better assessment on what is going on regarding the volume of stablecoins. Are people converting it into fiat currencies, or are they temporarily parking it? Now let me quickly run through the volume of decentralized exchanges, guys, because Uniswap is at number 1 and its 24-hour volume is $1.11 billion. Radium, guys, its volume has definitely pumped up, and today it is at $1.05 billion. It is extremely rare, guys, that I've seen the volume of the second decentralized exchange crossing the $1 billion mark, and most of the time it has been PancakeSwap or maybe Curve Finance. Radium, I do feel it might be the very first time where it might have crossed a $1.05 billion mark. Now look, as so far as Radium is concerned, I believe it works only on Solana blockchain, isn't it? Now last week, guys, we talked about VanEck. They went ahead and applied for a Solana spot ETF. Now I do feel, guys, that because of that, there is a lot of transaction taking place on Radium. Let me know, guys, if you agree to my assessment, or do you have any other points to share? Mention them in the comments below. Now the third one, guys, is PancakeSwap, and its 24-hour volume is $402.1 million. Orca, guys, is at number 4th. Its volume is $374.01 million. And finally, at number 5th is Curve Finance, and its volume is $237.83 million. Now let me quickly run through the volume of stablecoins, guys, because it is well below the $50 billion mark at $49.02 billion, and stablecoins as of today is accounting for 90.95% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, ideally speaking, guys, the volume of stablecoins should have been somewhere around the $120 billion mark. That would mean that people are parking a lot of the cryptocurrencies onto stablecoins, isn't it? That has not been happening since the last 48 hours. Now, so far as the volume of stablecoins is concerned, Tether USDT is still leading the pack with $41.52 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $3.46 billion, and FDUSD, guys, is at number 3rd. Its volume is $2.87 billion. Now, let me quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume, and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, unfortunately, guys, looks like the market cap of Ethereum has taken a massive hit. It is at $359 billion. Just 2 weeks ago, guys, the market cap of Ethereum was well over the $400 billion mark. Definitely not good for Ethereum hodlers, isn't it? Now, so far as the market cap of Bitcoin is concerned, it is at $1.12 trillion. Now, just to give you some context, guys, in 2020, when Bitcoin did reach a new all-time high, that time the price of Bitcoin was around the $40,000 to $50,000 mark, isn't it? That time alone, the market cap of Bitcoin, guys, was around the $1.30 trillion mark. Now fast forward to 2024, the price of Bitcoin is hovering around the 57,000 to 64,000 on certain days, guys. It has also crossed the $70,000 mark as well, as in it definitely did reach a new all-time high in 2024 as well. But so far as the market cap is concerned, guys, it hasn't crossed a $1.6 trillion mark. Hopefully, guys, in the next coming months, the market cap of Bitcoin alone might just cross the $2 trillion mark. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Now, so far as the 24-hour trading volume is concerned, guys, as of today, 8th of July, in the early hours of Dubai, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $19.62 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $10.29 billion. Now look, guys, I'm looking at these numbers via DeFiLlama.com. I'm looking at it via Masari. I'm also looking at it via CoinMarketCap. Now there is a very high possibility, guys, that these centralized places, they go out and update the information at specific hours, so it could be possible that by the time you're listening to the episode, the numbers will be slightly different, so please keep that thing in mind. Now, so far as the dominance is concerned, guys, Bitcoin's dominance is extremely steady at 53.90%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is at 17.20%. Now look, guys, because there's so much of fluctuation in the cryptocurrency market, this week also what I want to do is I want to look at the top 3 gainers and top 3 losers since the last 24 hours. Now the number one, guys, which has gained the most is Notcoin, and it is up by 33.24%. The second one, guys, is Leo Token, and it is up by 1.59%, and Mantra, that is Ohm, is up by 1.15%. Now, if I'm not mistaken, guys, Mantra was up on Thursday as well, and that is because they did make an announcement with a group in UAE, that is MAG Group, that is more to do with real estate and tokenization. So it looks like the token, that is Ohm Token, is still benefiting the most, and it has been up since the last 24 hours by 1.15%. Now, so far the top 3 losers is concerned, guys, DocWeb, that has taken the massive hit, and it is down by 11.11%. The second one is Ondo Token, guys, and it is down by 8.40%. The third one is BTT, or Bread-Based Token, and it is down by 7.47%. Now look, guys, I wouldn't be surprised by Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesdays, these numbers will drastically be changing. That is the crazy world of cryptocurrency, isn't it? Now look, guys, what I'm doing since the last few months in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast. Before we look at the king of all kings, that is the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also Binance BNB coin, I tend to cover one technical concept, isn't it? Now this week, guys, what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and touch base on the Lightning Network, because look, guys, so far as Bitcoin is concerned, there are quite a lot of things you can do. You have Lightning Network, you have Liquid Network, you have ordinal inscriptions, you have runes, quite a lot of other things. Now look, guys, if you truly understand how Bitcoin works, and if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you can also say that Lightning Network is probably the biggest innovation. And you can also make the argument, guys, that Lightning Network, not blockchain, is the next evolution. So what I want to do is, guys, this entire week, I want to go ahead and give out more information regarding Lightning Network. Now in today's episode, guys, I'll give you the overview of Lightning Network, what problem it solves, the history and development, the technical foundation, the payment channels and how Lightning Network works, the network structure, and I'll also go and touch base on current use cases as well. Now in the episode that I release tomorrow, that is the 9th of July, I'll go and touch base on how the Lightning Network actually works. So I'll go and touch base on establishing payment channels, how does funding a channel work, the transaction routing, routing fees and incentives, the fee structure, smart contracts and security, and I'll also go and touch base on probably the most important thing so far as Lightning Network is concerned, that is HTLC, that is hash time log contracts, and tomorrow, guys, I'll also go and touch base on pre-image and hash logs, and I'll also go and touch base on how you close the channel as well. And guys, on the episode that I'll release on Wednesday, that is the 10th of July, I'll go and explore the advantages and challenges of Lightning Network. So we'll go and touch base on scalability, speed, low fees, and I'll also go and share some challenges, guys, because look, liquidity management is a massive challenge so far as Lightning Network is concerned, isn't it? We'll also go and touch base on the complexities, routing issues, security concerns and network attacks as well. And finally, guys, on day 4, that is 11th of July, I'll go and touch base on the future of Lightning Network. So we'll touch base on technological developments, AMPs, that is automatic multi-path payments, watchtowers, dual funded channels and splicing. I'll also go and touch base on adoption and integration, and how merchants actually adopting Lightning Network. And finally, guys, I'll go and touch base on wallet and platform support, and also go and touch base on regulatory environment. Now look guys, if you do need any further consultation, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now look guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, you can make an argument that Lightning Network, not blockchain, is probably the next evolution so far as cryptocurrency space is concerned. Now look, that is because Lightning Network guys is a revolutionary layer to scaling solutions for Bitcoin. So let me go ahead and touch base on the purpose of Lightning Network. Now so far as Lightning Network is concerned guys, it aims to address Bitcoin scalability issues. So let me go ahead and break it down as to why it is crucial. Because look guys, Bitcoin's transaction capacity is limited due to its block size and block time constraints, isn't it? So I want to go ahead and very briefly touch base on three areas guys. That is block size, block time and resulting issues. Now so far as block size is concerned, each block in Bitcoin blockchain has a limited size which restricts the number of transactions it can hold, and new blocks guys are added approximately every 10 minutes, meaning there's a cap on how many transactions can be processed in a given time frame, isn't it? Now this limitation leads to higher fees and slower transaction confirmation, especially during times of high demand, making Bitcoin less practical for everyday use. Now look guys, if you know, after the Bitcoin halving, runes has been implemented on Bitcoin blockchain as well, and we also have ordinal inscription, isn't it? So there's quite a lot of chaos going on so far as Bitcoin blockchain is concerned. Now what is it that Lightning Network aims to solve guys? Lightning Network guys, it aims to move transactions off chain, making them faster and cheaper, and transactions guys on Lightning Network occur off the main blockchain, thereby reducing the load and allowing for virtual instantaneous payment. And Lightning Network guys also supports small value transactions that are extremely impractical on the main chain due to high fees, isn't it? Now let me do one thing guys, let me go ahead and touch base on the history of Lightning Network, because understanding the history of Lightning Network does give us an insight into the development and significance, isn't it? Now so far as the white paper is concerned, the Lightning Network concept was introduced by Joseph Poon and Claudius Dreger, and they did write a white paper in 2015, and the white paper proposed a way to enable fast, scalable Bitcoin transactions through off-chain payment channels. Now the idea was met with excitement as it promised to solve Bitcoin scalability issues without changing the underlying protocol. The Lightning Network since then has undergone significant development since its inception, and initial implementations began soon after the white paper was published, with developers working to build a practical, secure system. Now in 2018 guys, the Lightning Network's beta version was launched, marking a significant milestone in its development, and since then, Lightning Network has been steadily growing in both usage and infrastructure, with more nodes and channels being added simultaneously. Now look guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, there are a couple of key principles. So let me do one thing guys, let me go ahead and touch base on some of the key principles of Lightning Network. So I want to go ahead and touch base on payment channel, opening a channel, conducting transactions, and finally closing a channel. Now so far as payment channels are concerned, at the core of Lightning Network are payment channels, which allow two parties to transact directly with each other off-chain. Now look, there are a couple of steps involved, and the first one is opening a channel. And to open a channel guys, both parties deposit funds into a multi-signature address, and this transaction is recorded on the blockchain. Then the second step is conducting the transactions. Now within the channel guys, parties can transact freely and instantly, updating the balances without broadcasting the transactions to the blockchain. And finally guys, the third step is closing a channel. Now when they decide to close the channel guys, the final balance is recorded on the blockchain in a single transaction. The classic example I can think of is guys, let's say the bar tab that we have. So let's say I go to a bar, I can open up a channel at the bar, I go ahead and deposit X number of Bitcoin, and the bar also goes and deposits X number of Bitcoin. Now once the channel is open guys, I can do back and forth transaction, and then only after we go ahead and close the channel, and only after the channel is closed, those details gets recorded onto Bitcoin blockchain. Now let me go ahead and touch base on routing and network structure, because Lightning Network isn't just about two-party channels guys, it's a network where payments can be routed to multiple nodes. So we have something called as multi-hop payments and also routing fees. Now so far as multi-hop payments is concerned, let's say if you want to pay someone without a direct channel, your payments can be routed to intermediary nodes, creating a path across networks. So let's say guys, if I want to go ahead and pay to someone in Australia, so I don't necessarily have to be connected to the person in Australia. There might be different open channels, and then our transactions can take a hop across multiple channels. But there's also routing fees as well, isn't it? And nodes guys, they charge small fees for forwarding payments, providing an incentive for them to participate in the network. Now comes the most important thing guys, that is hash time lock contracts. Now look guys, hash time lock contracts are a crucial security mechanism for Lightning Network, and the hash time lock contract guys create conditional payments that are only completed if specific conditions are met, ensuring security and preventing fraud. And these contracts guys use hash locks, which require cryptographic proofs, and also time locks, that is essentially like settling a deadline to go ahead and secure your transaction. Now look guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, let me go ahead and very briefly touch base on the overview of Lightning Network architecture, because you have nodes, you have channels, and you have network topology as well. Now so far as nodes is concerned, nodes are the backbone of Lightning Network, isn't it? And they create, manage and close payment channels as well as route payments through the network. And there are different types of nodes guys, including full nodes which store the entire blockchain, and lightweight nodes which don't store the entire blockchain. Now so far as channels is concerned, you can have private channels as well as public channels, and channels guys are conduit for transactions within the network. Now private channels guys are typically between two parties who regularly transact with each other. The classic example I can think of is, let's say me going to a specific bar, and if I know the person who's handling the bar. Now so far as public channel is concerned guys, think of it, you're doing transactions via let's say Amazon, and you don't need to know who the middle person are, and there are multiple hops in between, isn't it? Now public channels guys are open to routing payments for other, thereby contributing to the network's liquidity and connectivity. Now so far as network topology is concerned guys, Lightning Network's topology influences its efficiency and reliability, and they have something called a mesh network. Now ideally speaking guys, Lightning Network operates on a decentralized mesh network where multiple nodes are interconnected, thereby allowing for diverse routing options. However guys, this has led to a lot of centralization concerns, as there is a risk of centralization if certain nodes become dominant routing hubs, which could undermine the network's decentralized nature. Now so far security measures is concerned guys, Lightning Network incorporates robust security measures to protect user frauds, and the multi-signature addresses ensures that fund can be spent only with the consent of both parties in the channel. Now look, similar to how we have oracles guys, there's something completely different called as watchtowers. Now third-party services that monitor the network for fraudulent activity. They add an extra layer of security. Now what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, try to understand what watchtowers are, so you get a better understanding of how they ensure that there is no fraudulent activity taking place. So that is some basic level information guys regarding Lightning Network. Now in tomorrow's episode, we will delve into the technical workings of Lightning Network, exploring how it operates under the hood. Now look guys, if you do need any further consultation, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, and unfortunately guys, the prices of Bitcoin hasn't been doing that great. It is at $57,200, and since the last 24 hours it is down by 1.09%, and since the last 7 days it is down by 7.27%. Ethereum guys is well below the $3,000 mark. It is at $2,993. Since the last 24 hours it is down by 1.89%. Since the last 7 days it is down by 12.19%. Binance BNB Coin guys, there is a very high possibility it could actually go below the $500 mark, because right now it is at $502. And since the last 24 hours it is down by 4.35%, and since the last 7 days it is down by 12.96%. So look guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is for the next 24 to 48 hours, keep an eye on what is going on so far as the volume of stablecoins is concerned. Try to look at the 24-hour trading volume, and then guys also try to look at it with the volume of decentralized exchanges. The key metric to look at is the 24-hour trading volume and the volume of stablecoins. If the volume of stablecoins increases, then you should be content that people are not selling a lot of the cryptocurrencies, rather they are just parking it. But let's say guys, if the 24-hour volume increases, and if the stablecoin volume is pretty much the same, it would only mean two things: that people are actually buying a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, or they are converting a lot of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies into fiat currencies. So we'll just have to wait and see, and I'll definitely go ahead and update it in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast. Now look guys, because the price of Bitcoin has been going down, looks like people are not keen on mining as well. Now so far as Bitcoin mining is concerned guys, every 2016 block, the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted. Now the Bitcoin mining difficulty guys measures the computational effort required to mine Bitcoin, and it has experienced a significant drop of 5% on 5th of July. Now this is brought to a quarterly low of 79.50 terahashes per second. Now this decline guys marks the largest reduction since March, when it briefly fell below 8 terahash per second. Now from March to May, mining difficulty definitely spiked, reaching an all-time high of 88.10 terahash per second before gradually decreasing to its current level. Now, the mining difficulty adjustment, guys, as I mentioned earlier, occurs approximately every 2 weeks, to be more precise, every 2016 block, and that leads to an average block time production of roughly around 10 minutes, isn't it? Now, look, guys, overall, while the Bitcoin's mining hash rate typically grows over time, these recent adjustments highlight the dynamic nature of mining difficulty, and this is in response to changes in network participation and computing power, isn't it? Now, look, guys, so far the decrease in Bitcoin mining difficulty is concerned, let me go ahead and touch base on how it actually affects the mining industry. 1. It definitely makes easier mining, and with lower difficulty, miners require less computational power to solve cryptographic puzzles and mine Bitcoin, isn't it? Now, this can lead to potentially higher profitability for miners as they use less energy and resources per Bitcoin mined. Now, this can lead to a second point, that is increased competition. The lower difficulty cards may attract more miners to join the network, thereby increasing competition for block rewards, and this could potentially reduce the individual miner's share of rewards unless they increase the mining capacity as well. And the third point, guys, is regarding profitability adjustments. The miner's profitability fluctuates with difficulty changes. Now, while lower difficulty initially boosts productivity, increased competition over time may balance or reduce overall profits as well. Now, finally, guys, so far as market dynamics is concerned, changes in mining difficulty can influence market sentiments and, more importantly, Bitcoin prices in it, and a significant drop in difficulty might signal changes in mining economics, potentially affecting broader market perceptions. Now, look, as overall, while lower difficulty can benefit miners in the short term, in the long term, the impact depends on market conditions, competition, and miners' ability to adapt to changing difficulty levels. Now, look, as with US election coming up, I'm pretty much sure the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will definitely be fluctuating quite a lot, isn't it? So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding the prediction of the Bitcoin mining industry? Will it be pumping up or will it be going down? Truth be told, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of miners do go ahead and start the mining operations, and in the next 2016 block, the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted once again, and it just might be slightly higher. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss some news in the world of Bitstamp and Robinhood, guys. They are progressing with acquiring Bitstamp, which is a global cryptocurrency exchange, and Robinhood, guys, has filed a change of control application with NYDFS, marking a regulatory step towards the acquisition announced on 3rd of July. Now, this deal, guys, is expected to close by the first half of 2025, and that is pending approvals. And this deal is valued at approximately $200 million in cash with adjustments. Now, this acquisition, guys, also aims to enhance Robinhood's cryptocurrency services and expand its global presence significantly. Now, if you do need more information, guys, this news is published via bitcoin.com, and the link to that is in the show notes below. Now, guys, let's discuss some news of our Tron blockchain is concerned, and Justin Sun, the founder of Tron, has mentioned via Twitter that his team is developing a gasless stablecoin solutions, and it is aimed at enabling peer-to-peer transfers for all users. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in the show notes below, there's a series of his tweets, so please feel free to go ahead and check it out, because what he's saying is that his team is creating a new solution for gas-free stablecoin transfers, and it will allow transfers without requiring gas tokens with fees covered by stablecoins itself. Now, initially, guys, this particular feature will be made applicable on Tron blockchain, and later on expanding to Ethereum and EVM-compatible chains. And based on the tweet, guys, looks like it's going to be announced in the final quarter of this year. Now, this will definitely aid large companies in deploying stablecoin services, thereby boosting blockchain adoption, isn't it? Now, look, guys, Justin Sun also feels that Tron blockchain will become the first blockchain in the world to surpass 1 billion addresses. So let's see, guys, if Tron blockchain will be able to surpass 1 billion addresses. Now, look, so far stablecoins is concerned, majority of Tether USDT's activity is actually taking place in Tron blockchain, isn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised if Tron blockchain will become the first blockchain in the world to surpass 1 billion addresses. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss some massive news, and that is regarding central bank digital currency. Now, look, guys, it's really important to note that central bank digital currencies are definite digital currencies, but it is definitely not cryptocurrencies. Now, CBDCs, guys, or central bank digital currencies, gives the government 100% control over its spendings. And I've said this thing so many times in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, guys. When you talk about left-leaning administration, left-leaning ideologies and Democrats, they're definitely in favor of central bank digital currency. They're definitely in favor of more control, and they definitely want to be woke, isn't it? they definitely oppose Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, open source, and freedom of speech as well. Now, this news, guys, is connected to Democratic Governor Roy Cooper, and he's actually vetoed a CBDC ban bill in the state of North Carolina, and this has definitely created quite a lot of chaos. Now, Governor Roy Cooper, guys, he vetoed a bill in North Carolina that would ban implementing a US Federal Reserve issued CBDC. Now, this bill, guys, had strong legislative support but was criticized for being premature. Now, critics, guys, argue Roy Cooper of playing politics, arguing that the decision missed an opportunity to assess state policy on digital assets amidst federal deliberation. So look, guys, when you talk about Bitcoin, the whole promise was separation of money and the state, isn't it? So look, governments can directly and indirectly impact the future of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, so far CBDCs is concerned, by pushing CBDCs forward, they can definitely delay mainstream adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, isn't it? Now, regarding this news, guys, given the near unanimous vote, North Carolina legislators could easily override Cooper's veto with a 3/5 majority in both chambers. Now, Roy Cooper's decision to veto wasn't well received, guys, and the veto from Governor Cooper was not representative of the desires of North Carolinians. And blockchain solutions head analyst in North Carolina, Nathan Michelascu, explained this to Cointelegraph, and what he said, it was a shame that Cooper was unwilling to put partisan politics aside to support a law that would benefit the residents of North Carolina. Now, what he also said is that he vetoed only because his opponent, Mark Robinson, is in favor of the bill, and it was extremely clear as to who the pro-Bitcoin and pro-freedom candidate is here. Now, look, our central bank digital currencies definitely create a lot of privacy concerns, isn't it? Now, along with Michelascu, guys, Dan Spuler, the head of industry affairs for Blockchain Association, also said that Roy Cooper's veto was an opportunity missed to send out a clear and loud message to the residents of North Carolina that they strongly oppose the CBDC. Now, so far as digital asset is concerned, guys, the policy must remain in the hands of American people, isn't it? Ensuring that any development of digital currencies reflect the values of privacy, individual sovereignty, and free market competitiveness. Now, that thing being said, guys, Federal Chair Jerome Powell did say in a Senate Banking Committee hearing that the US was nowhere near recommending or let alone adopting a central bank digital currency in absolutely any form. So let's see, guys, what the future of central bank digital currencies are. And what I tend to do is, guys, every month I do tend to have a session on central bank digital currency where I go ahead and explain what CBDCs are, the different types of central bank digital currencies, and now they are threat to freedom and quite a lot more. Now, if you do need any consultation regarding that, guys, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now, these were some macro level news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8. Now, let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Now, the first one, guys, is regarding UAE Zan Bank, and they want to offer crypto custody and wallet services to Taurus Solution. So let me go ahead and break down this news, guys. And Zan Bank PJSC, guys, they are partnered with Taurus SA for digital asset infrastructure. Now, Taurus SA, guys, I believe they are from Switzerland, and Taurus SA, they provide solution for custody, tokenization, and blockchain connectivity. And so far as Zan is concerned, it is the UAE's first digital bank, and Zan, guys, will leverage Taurus' integrated custody and tokenization solution, and the partnership includes support of cryptocurrencies, tokenized securities, and digital currencies. And so far as Taurus SA is concerned, they are backed by some real heavy-duty giants like Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, Arab Bank Switzerland, Lombard Audio, and Pictet Group as well. So look, guys, this is definitely massive news, isn't it? And Taurus SA, guys, they raised $65 million in 2023. Now, so far as Zan Bank is concerned, they will use Taurus's protocol called as Taurus Protect, which is essentially a wallet solution for securing storage of digital assets. And Taurus Protect, guys, offers hot and cold HSM environment for security, and the feature includes programmable rules and robotic process automation as well. And Zan, guys, will meet UAE banking security and compliance standards, and Taurus Protect provides multi-layer security controls as well. Now, apart from that, guys, Zan will also use Taurus Capital, and they will use it for issuing and managing tokenized assets. And they also have something called as Taurus Explorer that ensures secure interface with multiple blockchain networks. Now, Zan, guys, aim to bridge traditional finance and DeFi with artificial intelligence and blockchain technology, and they offer institutional-grade digital asset services in the MENA region. And Zan is also regulated by Central Bank of UAE since July of 2022. And regarding this news, guys, leaders from Zan and Taurus SA highlight the significance of the partnership for the better of digital economy. So definitely positive news. Now, guys, let's discuss some news of as artificial intelligence is concerned. And this is from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the SDAIA, that is Saudi Data for Artificial Intelligence Authority. They have started a committee to ensure ethical and responsible AI development. and Chief Al-Rabi bin Fahad Al-Rabdi highlighted Saudi Data for Artificial Intelligence Authority's role in advancing global AI governance. Now, the remarks, guys, were made at 2024 World AI Conference in Shanghai, China, and the conference theme was Governing AI for Good and for All. Now, look, Saudi Arabia has invested heavily in AI research and development, isn't it? And specialized AI centers have been established in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and they definitely see cooperation with leading global technology companies, and that is a massive priority for them as well. And they're doing that in cooperation with leading global technology companies is a priority, and Saudi Arabia seems a global leadership in AI to achieve its Vision 2030 goals, and the Saudi Data for Artificial Intelligence Authority is actively engaging with international organizations, governments and industry leaders as well. Now, this partnership, guys, helps shape the global AI governance framework, and Saudi Data for Artificial Intelligence Authority has contributed to the initial international scientific report in AI safety. Now, the report involves 75 AI experts from 30 countries, including the Europe and United Nations as well, and the SDAIA, that is Saudi Data for Artificial Intelligence Authority, promotes responsible and ethical AI development and deployment, and the ethical principles emphasized include fairness, privacy, security, reliability, safety, transparency and accountability as well, and they aim to develop AI technologies focused on human needs and global values. Now, look, AI has potential for social good in healthcare, education, sustainable development and public safety is commonly recognized, isn't it? And LWD calls for AI to address global challenge and promote inclusivity and equity as well. Now, the third Global AI Summit is scheduled to take place in September 2024 in Riyadh, and it will explore AI's impact across various fields. So look, so far as artificial intelligence is concerned, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are definitely taking leaps and bounds, isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised, let's say in a decade's time or so, if the Middle East turns out to be the leader in the world of artificial intelligence. So those were the newscasts on cryptocurrency, blockchain and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. And guys, also please feel free to go and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. It is packed with loads of information in the world of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, artificial intelligence, central bank digital currency, and even metaverse. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB, listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question. Bartolio asks, what impact do you think the decrease in Bitcoin mining difficulty will have on the market? Now look, Talia, so far as price prediction is concerned, I've often said this, all price predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time, isn't it? But look, so far as your question is concerned, what I really feel is that the recent decline in Bitcoin mining difficulty can definitely have brought a significant impact so far as the market is concerned. I think one of the areas is definitely short-term mining profitability, because look, Talia, lower difficulty means that miners need less computational power to mine Bitcoin, isn't it? Which could mean one thing, that they're spending less, and that would directly mean increased profitability, isn't it? And miners can generate more Bitcoin for the same amount of work, potentially boosting their earnings, especially for those with low operational costs. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when Bitcoin was at its all-time high, it costed roughly around $152,000 to go and mine one Bitcoin, and just few months before that, it was exactly one-third of it, around $50,000 or $54,000. Now, regarding your question, I do see a downside of it as well. Because the Bitcoin mining difficulty has gone down, it'll definitely have increased competition as well. And look, Talia, as mining becomes easier, it will definitely attract more miners to the network, isn't it? Now, this would actually lead to increased competition among miners. Now, while this influx of miners can initially drive up the network security, it might eventually balance out to even reduce individual miners' profitability as more miners share the same block rewards. Now, look, I do feel that the market sentiment is going to be impacted the most, and changes in mining difficulty can influence market sentiment, and a significant drop might be perceived as a sign of reduced mining activity or less investment in mining infrastructure, which could affect the Bitcoin price as well, isn't it? Conversely, increased miner profitability can instill confidence in the network's economic health. And also what's going to happen, Talia, is because there is a downfall in the mining difficulty, The decrease might prompt adjustment in the hash rate, as miners who previously left the network due to high cost, they might want to come back, isn't it? And this could stabilize the hash rate and potentially lead to future increases in mining difficulty as the network compensates for the new level of computational power, in my opinion. Now, so far as long-term market dynamics is concerned, I do feel entirely over time the market will adjust to new difficulty level, and if Bitcoin prices increases, it could attract more investors. But let's say if the prices continues to go down, it might actually discourage investment and reduce the network's overall security, isn't it? So look, Talia, I do feel over the next coming months, and with the US election coming up, the Bitcoin mining difficulty will definitely be shaken up. So let's see how it turns out to be, but definitely a really interesting question. And that's about all, guys. From the Ask Me Anything season blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, also please feel free to go and check out my website. It is packed with loads of information in the world of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, central bank digital currencies, artificial intelligence, and even metaverse. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30, we have Crypto with Coffee, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to the UAE and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.